The theme of a dream is its action plot.
For our second dream workout, we're going to focus on the story part of the dream. Every dream is a story. What's the story in yours? Just look for the basic action in your dream. The way a scriptwriter might think of the general storyline before they ever write any details. You know, like a story about persistence in the face of frustration. So forget about the details and just focus on the basic action. Here is an example. Take the nursery rhyme, Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow. Everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. That little story might be reduced to this simple plot outline. Someone has something that follows them predictably alongside. When you're abstracting the plot, drop the particulars like Mary and lamb, and you can use words like someone or something instead. The important thing is to focus on the action, which are the verbs in the dream that tell you what's happening. In the Mary dream, what's happening is the following that's going on. Now here's another example, an actual dream. I'm in a small underground cellar. There are concrete walls close by all around me. All of a sudden, a wall pulls back and the space opens up into a much larger area. If we focused on symbols, we'd see the cellar and its walls. But when we want to understand an action plot, we ignore the nouns and focus on the verbs, on what happens in the dream. The action verbs are pulls back and opens up. One statement of the action plot might read, something changes from being confining to being open. Here the plot describes the essence of what happens. Something changes, and a brief description of the type of change, from being confining to being open. Seeing the essence of the action can be a bit confusing at first, because all the specifics, the people, the situations that you recognize, the symbols, all these things can be hypnotic. But just try to step back away from all that detail and just look at the basic action. Now in my dream, for example, I might write out the action plot like this. Someone returns to an old situation that is comfortably secure when someone else brings something inspiring and offers a way out. Look at your dream now and find the essential action. Go for the main verbs. They'll help you to identify what's happening in your dream. Write out several versions of the action plot and work them over until you can come up with a statement that gives the essence of what's happening in your dream.
I write out versions of the action plot of my dream. Hit the pause button to give yourself more time. Now we're going on to step 2.
What does the action plot of your dream remind you of? Does it evoke some feeling? Does it make you think about some situation in your life? Remember, your dream is a story, and looking at the scenario of the story may help you to recognize how the dream applies to you. Write some sentences about how this action plot might resemble something going on in your own life. Does it remind you of a feeling or the way you're dealing with some situation? Ask yourself, where in my life can I recognize this sort of scenario? Watch now as I use inspirational writing to tease out some kind of insight from my action plot. Someone returns to an old situation that is comfortably secure when something inspiring offers a way out. So I ask myself, where in my life am I going back to old patterns? I see if I can find an answer to this question. Familiar security, where have I found it recently? When I do my work in a predictable pattern. That's interesting, because now I remember Mary telling me how she took a chance at her job by doing her assignment in a new way. She told me she did it because of something I'd said to her about taking creative risks. I need to practice what I preach. Okay, now you try it. Just let your pencil do the thinking. As you play with the words and phrases, the natural flow of your writing will bring you the new insights.
I search for resemblances between the action plot of my dream and what is happening for me in my life. Hit the pause button to give yourself more time. Now we're going on to step 3.
You've created your second dream interpretation. You've used your dream to see a pattern going on in your life. That's important. But no dream interpretation is of much use unless you do something with it. So ask yourself, what do I want to do about this dream insight? How can I test it out or put it to some practical use? For example, from my dream analysis, I might conclude, when I feel insecure and am tempted to hide in comfortable, familiar patterns, I can now try thinking of my friend Mary and surround myself with a friendly feeling of encouragement that may help me take the risk of trying a more creative approach. I don't know. I'll have to try this and see how it works. So now it's your turn. Begin by writing a few phrases that express your dream insight, and then you continue your writing, saying something to yourself about what this insight means to you and what you want to do about it. And that will conclude our second dream workout.
I note how I want to put my dream insight to the test by using it in practice. Hit the pause button to give yourself more time.